gist now. So you call him, tell me this morning, what are the do's and don'ts of being a decent neighbor? This guy now has entered trouble. Why? Because his girlfriend is not talking to the woman next door. But the man could not resist the stew. You know what they say? Young guy, they sleep. Trouble go make a move. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Hello Port Harcourt. Let's get to hear from you this morning.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeriainfo FM. Nigeriainfo, let's talk.
So 017-923-0002, 017-923-0003, 0817923-0002, 0817923-0003 at Nigeriainfo PH. At Nigeriainfo PH is where you will find us on Facebook and on X. At Nigeriainfo PH. At Nigeriainfo PH is where you'll find us on Facebook and on X. All right. Now, WhatsApp and Telegram is 08090306416. 08090306416. What are the do's and don'ts for you as a good neighbor? How can you prove that you are a good neighbor? What exactly, particularly in 2024, right now, in our modern times, as people are, more into social media and online interactions, a lot of people don't quite understand what it is to be a neighbor. Is it just the person who's beside you? Well, I don't know. I'm going to hear from you this morning. 017 923-0002, 0817923-0003, 0817923-0002, 0817923-0003. All right, first, see my problem with you people in Port Harcourt. Now, Isaac is asking me, Jude, talk true. That neighbor is you. You cannot tell me otherwise. That neighbor is you. This story you're telling us, you're not telling us the whole story. That neighbor is you. Isaac, please. In fact, if my neighbors could listen to me, they'll probably call him. I just came from my house this morning. I walk in, I come. Sometimes I go out, carry my bag, carry my laptop. Today I'm going to the market. So I went to carry my shopping bag. All right? It's not me. I'm not the one. I'm not the one that went to go and beg for stew. Please. If I was the one, I would not lie. I would tell you, let me do one. But Isaac, it's not me. I'm not the one. Jude, you are missing the point. The man is not in trouble because his babe is not talking to his neighbor. He is in trouble because he has long throats and no self-control. And that neighbor keeps frying things at odd hours when she knows that man will be at home alone with his girlfriend. I agree with the girlfriend. I don't like that neighbor. Yeah. Wow. So what are the do's and don'ts of being a good neighbor? But what crime really? Once again, whether you are in your business place, right? You're a market woman, somebody's beside you, that person is your neighbor. What are the do's and don'ts? Really? Now, okay, Charles Cottrell is talking about calls and messages, taking calls almost up to an hour. It's not for those who are lucky enough to call to make their opinion. Please treat those with comments with respect. Thank you, Charles. But I think we try to. It's a very fine balance. But yes, every contributor on these programs, very well respected. Back after the break, please.
We get
one eventually got theirs, because I haven't had a complaint since about Sunday or Monday. So if you haven't gotten your airtime, please do let me know. Now, this morning we're talking about the dynamics of being a neighbor. What are the things for you that are a must or that are a no when it comes to the person that you consider a neighbor? All right. Now, everybody wants to live in a supportive community, whether you are in your residential space or your business space. It feels good sometimes. Like, I remember when I used to live in the complex, it feels good. In fact, it was one of the things I always admired about the colleagues with whom I was sharing living space with, right? That at some point, let's say you take your laundry out, all right, and you're in your apartment, or maybe you even step out and it starts to rain. I was very sure that my clothes or anybody's clothes will not be on the floor where we do our laundry, because once it starts raining, whoever goes out immediately takes everybody's clothes and puts them at the stairwell. Everybody's clothes, just okay, all right, it's here, you can come search for your clothes, but it will not be outside drenched in the rain, except maybe you decide to do your laundry at night and maybe it rains overnight. That's on your own. But if it's during the day, right, I was very certain, almost certain, that no matter what time it was during the day, that's between, let's say, 12 noon and 6 p.m., that once it starts to rain, somebody will come and take my clothes. Yes, there are times maybe everybody's at work and it rains, too bad. But a lot of the times, I was very confident. That's what you would expect from decent neighbors. But this dynamics of neighborliness, right, I think it varies from place to place. Now, in the example I just gave to you, the man knocks at his neighbor's door who is frying amazing stew. In fact, I know the woman, and she cooks very well. Can't blame him. Now, his partner is not happy with him for going next door to say, sister, this stew you fry, you gonna give me some. I'm not begging you, I just taste them. Apparently, his partner, his girlfriend, and the woman are not on speaking terms. And I also told you guys that years ago when I was in Lagos, there was a neighbor of us who used to fry plantain between 12:30 and 1 a.m. in the morning. I don't even know why. What was her? She was afraid they would come and beg her. I don't know. But you're sleeping and next thing, plantain comes in. I never minded, but I'm sure some people did. So, what are the do's and don'ts for you? Remember, when you call in, turn down the volume of your radio set. Refrain from making derogatory or defamatory comments. Didn't see or hear it? Please do not make mention of it. And very importantly, please keep your comments civil.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeriainfo FM. Nigeriainfo, let's talk.
All right, so we have Zion and GRA on the line. Let's get to say hello to Zion. Hi, hello, Zion. Good morning.
Yeah, Jude. Good morning.
Good morning. How na day, Port Harcourt?
Port Harcourt, we dig it.
Welcome.
Love your neighbor as you love yourself. That was the ordinance God gave to us as Africans. And love ourselves. In fact, in some occasion, they even love their neighbors or strangers even more than their family members. We practice it here. Not until we are now diffused with some foreign policies, if I may use the word, religious and beliefs. Today now, we don't even love our neighbors anymore. We now build fences with barbed wires and spikes on top of the roof. We now put fences and gates to protect us burglars just to guide our against our neighbors. Growing up as a child during Christmas and other important days, we carry rice and food to the next door neighbors. We don't even know who have eaten, who have not eaten. That period, nobody is a witch, nobody is evil. Everybody eats together. Nobody is afraid of poisoning. Do you know that even mothers drop their children with their next door neighbor take care of my baby, I'm going to the market.
Yeah, I knew that. I grew up with that. True.
It's just, you don't need to be afraid. All your child needs to do is to go to school. The moment he comes back, he goes to the next door neighbor.
And wait.
Even when the child is coming, not even wait. The mother of that neighbor will know that this pikin dey hungry. Your country will make your mama come. And once the mother come, go to the next door neighbor. Thank you. Thank you was the binding power that guides us as Africans. But today, look at it now. We are all suspicious of ourselves. Even the rain is coming and trying to put your clothes to go and drop in your house, they will be suspecting. Are you sure you never come out one? Are you sure you know power that for what of the clothes? We are now so suspicious.
So I have Tom in LLA. So what would you say are the do's and don'ts as a neighbor these days?
What factor can you give as a do and don'ts? God please give us the ordinance. Love your neighbors, you love yourself. So the way I love myself, I love you.
Okay.
But I want to appreciate families and compounds that are upholding this neighborhood. Honestly speaking, some neighborhood are still practicing what we just discussed now. They love themselves.
All right. Tom is in LLA. Tom, what are the do's and don'ts for you as a good neighbor?
How did you do?
Good morning, Tom.
Thank God it's Friday.
TGIF, baby. TGIF.
Dude, you know what? When you live in a community, everybody is your neighbor. Sometimes we don't have do's, we don't have don'ts. Where there's love, where there's peace, harmony, and unity, you become the word neighbors sometimes don't exist because we need to come on, we have to understanding. If there is a communal or an environment that we stay together, we have a mutual understanding. So let me tell you one thing. When you begin to create do's and don'ts in the environment where you live with your neighbors, when the rain go wet, everything all good there. You will come back out, you will find out the do's and don'ts.
Yeah, but Tom, we need to have boundaries. It's just like in your house. I'm sure you don't want people to wear your shoes inside your house. That's a do. That's a don't. You don't like you hate them.
Those ones are not what my neighbors can do now. What my neighbors can do for you, just like the example you gave. When it's raining, when your generator is outside and somebody else can cover it when it's raining, or when you left your pair of shoes outside, somebody else can see that corridor. Shoes. My name is Tompolo from BGNA. When we live in my environment, we live in the problem. We live like systems. So without these and don'ts, somebody to my room to come and wear my shoes is a different matter. Someone is a family matter, a neighbor matter again. You understand me? So when you don't come to this matter of neighbors and children, they are not just do's and don'ts because you can't give me for less. I feel come to the house with the fried chicken for midnight. I'll come and have it. Yes, I'm getting you also not to the king. Even the king is hungry. Am I coming to my house and my tap is not running? I will come to my neighbor and give me a cup of water and thirsty. My name is Tompolo from BGNA. Have a wonderful Friday.
Thank you very much, Tom. Have a wonderful Friday yourself. Good morning, Jude. I grew up in the military camp in the north, and I can tell you for free, some of those big ogas that you are hearing these days, those days when they were still in their smaller ranks, their wives used to live around us. They would come to our house sometimes and borrow salt. I repeat, they will borrow salt. We didn't see it as anything. Why? Because we all used to go to the same school. We all used to go to the same market. And some of the women used to trade in the same market. It was not out of the ordinary for a woman to be cooking and run out of salt. Or sometimes, maybe she even forgot the salt in the market that she bought. But these days, a lot of neighbors in this Nigeria don't even know the color of their neighbor's gate. They don't even know what the door looks like. They don't even know what their children looks like. When you have accidents and fires, have you ever wondered why neighbors don't come in? Instead, it's strangers. And then you hear people are looting from houses. It's because they don't have good neighborhood relations with themselves. People need to wake up and start to think about what will happen if I was in trouble. If you call police, will the police come immediately? But if your neighbor is in good terms with you, Jude, I bet you they will come to your aid. I've heard of that. I've heard of this before, talking about when a woman is cooking, neighbors, friendly neighbors, they could come and say, madam, give me maggi, I beg, or give me salt. I'm sure I like to. It still happens today, doesn't it? It still does. Charles Cottrell says the do's and don'ts of a good neighbor, especially for female folks, for me are: number one, don't bash into my house because you're my neighbor. Knock on the door before coming in. That's a don't. Do well to remove your clothes as my neighbor if it rains when I'm not around. That's a do, because I'll do the same. If you feel lonely as a single girl neighbor when it rains, you can seek my company. You can do that. Number 4, when you cook as a single girl, do well to ask me if I will eat. That's a sign of a good neighbor. Don't bother about any girl. Number 5, if never comes to cut light and you're the only one around, do well to salvage the situation first and wait for other neighbors to make a refund. Number 6, don't play your home theater to disturb the compound. That's a don't. Behave normal. Charles Cottrell with that one. Thank you very much, Charles. Jude, good morning. See here, during the crash crunch last year, I helped so many persons with cash. As I was a business person, I had access to cash. They would transfer money to me and expect they needed cash by the end of the day. Fast forward to today, me and one of my neighbors are no more in the same state of rapport like before the cash crunch. He claimed to have sent me money, which today I have not seen, even after my efforts to get it solved as my neighbor. I gave him the cash to solve his needs, but instead of putting himself in my shoes to resolve the issue, he locked up because he had gotten the money and I'm the one at a loss. Since then, I am no more open to neighbors. Before this, we eat together. I even help him cook at times when I'm free. But right now, all those excesses are over. Yeah, I can understand that feeling. Yeah, your relationships do get burned, But are you still friendly with the other neighbors? What let me even ask. What if you are neighbor with your neighbors with somebody that you don't verbally agree? Maybe you guys are not cordial. Maybe you guys don't say hello, good afternoon. Maybe your wife is quarreling with his wife. How do you manage that scenario? If the house is on fire, would you, because of the beef, not go and help? If you see their son trekking and you are driving, would you pick the son? These are let's leave the residential spaces right now and let's go to the business environment. So let's say at your market stall, something is happening, you are not around, but the next door neighbor to you is a log guys, you guys don't talk. Would you expect the person to, maybe, let's say your buildings of, or let's say your drinks or whatever it is that you sell, gets tipped over? Would you expect that person to help you carry them, or you should leave it on the ground because we are quarreling? What are the do's and don'ts? I'm really curious this morning. Ibiso says, good morning, Jude. About the neighborhoods back in the late 70s and early 80s when we were living in the barracks. Oh, you live in the barracks too? Oh, interesting. You see that love in the back, everybody, see the love in the back, everybody loves everybody and they're doing things together. But today, in most environments, disunity happens because of political differences. The adults with the arguments will even transfer it to the children. If this person's son or child are playing the other one, because of this argument, will not allow their children to play together, and the other neighbor will even see his neighbor's things being damaged, and they will do nothing to remedy the situation, to reach. And thank God for this discussion. Even in the church, they are where okay, I believe we did this discussion. Everybody wake up. Thank you very much. Thank God it's Friday. All right, Ibiso, thank you very much. All right, let's see now. Outside the yours from somewhere. Friday, somebody always carries a stray bullet on this show. I don't know why. Good neighbors. Good morning, Jude. Good neighbors possess several attributes that contribute to a harmonious and supportive living environment. Here are some key attributes of a good neighbor. 1. Respectful. Good neighbors respect the boundaries and privacy of others. So they are considerate and avoid causing unnecessary noise or disturbances. They value the needs and rights of their neighbors. 2. Friendly and approachable. Good neighbors are friendly and approachable, fostering a good sense of community. They are willing to engage in polite, positive interaction, such as greeting each other, engaging in small talk, or offering a helping hand when needed. They are trustworthy. A good neighbor can be relied upon. They keep their promises. They respect their neighbor's property. They maintain a sense of honesty and integrity in their actions. And I like this one. Cleanliness and maintenance. Good neighbors take care of their property and keep it well maintained. They ensure that their surroundings are clean and tidy, which positively impacts on the overall aesthetic appeal of the neighborhood. All right, there's a lot of them here. Almost 10. Okay, all right. Ola George, thank you very much. I can't read all of them. I need to get to the next message. Also, let's get back to the phone lines as we do that. 017-923-0002, 0817923-0003, 017-923-0002, 0817923-0003. We're talking about dynamics of good neighbors. What are they for you? What would you consider as a good thing for somebody to do, or a bad thing for somebody to do as your neighbor? Oh yes, I just read this. I did see this message. This was a fellow that had 362 in the jam result. Yeah, I didn't see this on Tuesday or Wednesday. I would have reached out, but hey, now that I have, yes, there's no harm in making a call or two across. But yes, I did see the message. Thank you very much. Now, good neighborhoods still exist to date. A neighbor can meet another neighbor. Maybe you are cooking and can easily get Maggi or salt or even eggs from her and give her later based on how she wants it. But due to bad character and jealousy, it has removed all of us. Sylvester in Port Harcourt. DK is in Artillery. DK, good morning to you. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is a wonderful program, everything you just said earlier really remind me when I went to pack my new apartment. The very first thing is that we call everything as a family, and today anybody can as well approach a neighbor as a loved one and a neighbor. And one thing I really pick out, because as we were just saying earlier, I was just like, I remember a lady was trying to avoid me, and I just happened to be my next door neighbor. So the same day she was trying to avoid me, but the same day she has stomach bites, and this thing happened in the midnight, So it was like there's no other person she can actually call.
Yeah.
But it was just me.
Oh, dear.
And I have to run down everywhere I could run around that time, midnight, almost 12 or 1 o'clock. We run around, I call another neighbor, we just go everywhere we can, I don't know what to disturb a lady, So after everything, we run around that night. The man just said, okay, let's just ask one woman in our compound. We have to go back there. And the woman just give us the drugs. They go and give to her. I was like, maybe if I'm not the kind of person I am, what could have happened?
What happened to her? Yeah, because
these are the reason why you have to love your neighbor. I always love to listen to Mr. Zion also. I always like to listen to him because really the man always say what I always want to hear. It's good to love your neighbor. If Bible could say love your neighbor as you love yourself, it's good to love your neighbor because your neighbor is your immediate brother you have. That is the only brother you have.
At that moment,
if you're not staying where your family are staying or residing where, your neighbor is your own brother, your colleague, your everything.
That's a good way to put it.
You have to have a good relationship with your neighbor. If anything happens to you or your child, the first person you run to is your neighbor. So it's very important to have a very good relationship with our neighbor.
Thank you very much. You too. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. Ibiso in Oldley Road. Ibiso, good morning. Are you the one that sent the message about growing up in the barracks?
No,
Yes.
Wow, that's interesting. That was an interesting time.
In those days, in Rukuba Barracks, you know, when our parents want to go to market, you see that a boss will come and convey the women to market. Everybody will buy his food stuff. And you know, when they cook, this neighbor will bring to that, they shouldn't come and eat. They will bring it and everybody, you know, live that lovely life together. Like you today, why I say that today, most of us, the way we live in, politics, we just take the neighborhood. Now, let me just give an example of where I'm staying. My landlady said, okay, we have 4 flats inside, we have 5. So she said, every month, this family will clean the compound. So one of the neighbors upstairs said, let us, we're not children, you understand, let us do this thing. But you know that since last year, me and this neighbor, we are paying somebody to come and clean the environment.
Yes.
Why other neighbors are there? And the first part is, you are passing through this place to your house. And, you know, your seat there is not decent. And you go to your house, the next month, you see somebody come and clean it. And you don't even ask, how come about this thing? Now, this week, we call the boy again, Wednesday, come and clean. When the boy is working, the landlady now ask that, is this month? I said, no, that me and this neighbor, we are doing this thing since together. She was angry. I said, no, don't be angry, because this is all about understanding and maturity. If maybe this is my own house, I will allow you to happen like this. And the conscience matter, because if you are seeing that your domot is always being paid, your children are not doing it.
You should find out. Yeah, we should find out who's doing it. Yeah, I understand.
They just keep silent. We are doing so. I tell the landlady, don't destroy about this thing, because one day everybody back to his own house, and you are wearing shoe or wearing boxer. You don't know how to wash your boxer. It's all about conscience. Like my children in the backyard, when they litter the backyard, even in the early morning, I'll call them to make sure they clean up. They are not the only people that stay in the compound. So you have to teach the children about decency, about neatness, because they will take you to other places, and then their parents are not clean. So this discussion is eye-opener to different neighbors. Some neighbors, they will live in somebody's house and keep it the way that you on that kind of come and spend much money to revive that place. It's not good, my brother. We are living in a place, that place is your Jerusalem. Take care of it. So your landlady or your landlord will remember you for that contribution. Like I used to go and pump water. But I'm not really going to stay in this compound. Because sometimes they will not feel careless. But I say it's necessary, because if I don't pump it, I'll get the effect because of my children. So I have to go and do it. So, you know, some neighbors, they don't want living with my brother you. And so they want living with. And they will remember you. I went to Abuja for a general wife's birthday. And you see the whole place, different generals, retired, their children, all of us were young, they are long time. You see that happiness. In the barrack, they still do that. But I don't know whether politics have entered into the barrack. Because
you have a point there,
you that like volley, don't go and take your neighbor volley. I used to.
No. I don't. No.
You go there.
If they don't give me, I don't used to bother. No.
I know you, Jude.
I used to respect myself. No, but I would never put me in trouble. Never can put me in trouble. Never, ever. But you see, I took away from Ibiso's story something I think is very profound. Wherever you are living right now, wherever you are paying your rent right now, that place is your Jerusalem. That's a very powerful, a very poignant statement. Wherever you are living right now, I'll be the first to admit, a lot of the times I don't really like my area. I have to be honest, right? I really don't. But I'm appreciative of the house because, sometimes I talk to the house. I'm like, thank God I have this house. At least I can sleep, or can come here. At least snake will not enter my house and bite me, or I say that sometimes, but I keep thinking, man, you need a bigger space. You need to go out. But wherever you are right now is your Jerusalem. In fact, that's the word of the day for me right now. Every other thing right now, I think, takes a second space. I have to be very honest with you. Thank you very much, Ibiso. Thank you very, very, very much. That's really, really powerful. Once again, where you are right now is your Jerusalem. Could not have been better said. Jude, some neighbors are like demons, oh. Thank God if you have a good neighbor right now from Woji. Yes, which is why we're talking about, do's and don'ts. There has to be regulations, boundaries, borderlines, things that, shouldn't be crossed. That's how, you establish yourself as a good person. It's not because you agree with everything, but, there are limitations. Jude, one of the problems we have here is understanding each other's nuances. Oh, I like that word. If you move to an area and you notice they all have dogs, or you move to an area and you notice that they don't have dogs, you, as the person who either likes or doesn't like, needs to find out how best to operate in that space. If you come to a compound and everybody has dogs and you don't like dogs, then you tell them and you find out how they move with their dogs so you don't have a confrontation. If you move into a place and they don't have dogs and you like dogs, let them know you have dogs and try to understand how you need to move around their space. Not everybody wants a dog that will chase them or their children. It all boils down to understanding. And unfortunately, people think, because I can use it, my money, I can whatever I want. It's not. Neighbor is respectful. You can. Good neighbor is respectful. If you are going to be fine fish, triple cost they used to be, just last year, right? But still, a little consideration goes a long way. Thank you for all your comments and calls and contributions this morning.
Premier League, FA Cup, Niger Dramas, Olympics, Big Niger, and many more. Money too.